Avatar Fire and Ash is set to keep the Na'vi adventure going, and updates about the third film are coming in fast. James Cameron's The Way of Water left plenty of loose ends, especially the ongoing feud between Colonel Quaritch and Jake and Neytiri's family. Plus, we're getting a brand new Na'vi fire tribe this time. With even crazier digital effects and a deeper dive into Pandora's lore, this could be the most important Avatar movie yet. The cast is even bigger, with more Oscar winners, though they'll likely be unrecognizable as Na'vi. It's shaping up to be another epic spectacle, a lot to be excited about with Avatar Fire and Ash, so here's the latest scoop on the third film in the ever-growing Avatar franchise, plus what we can expect from the story. The latest buzz comes from a brand new image giving us our first glimpse of the Wind Traders clan. This includes a sneak peek at David Thewlis' character Pelak, who serves as their chief. Unlike the Na'vi we've seen before, or even the ocean-dwelling Metkayina, Pelak has a totally distinct look. He rocks some extravagant clothing and a braided hairstyle, setting him apart from the others. Costume designer Deborah L. Scott shared some insight into the Wind Traders, emphasizing how different they are compared to other Na'vi clans. She described them as upbeat, vibrant, and colorful, adding that their arrival in the film feels like a big event, almost like the circus rolling into town. Initially, Pelak's cloak had a more rugged, rustic feel, but James Cameron wanted something grander, so they reworked it. And with Thewlis' natural posture and presence, he's going to look absolutely stunning on screen. Now, as for the movie itself, the release date has shifted a bit. Originally planned for December 2024, Avatar Fire and Ash was pushed back to December 19, 2025. This delay wasn't too surprising, given all the setbacks Hollywood has faced, from the pandemic to last year's strikes. But with production moving forward steadily, it looks like this release date is finally locked in. The cast lineup for Avatar Fire and Ash is shaping up to be pretty exciting. Of course, Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldaña are back as Jake and Neytiri, along with most of the major characters from The Way of Water. Sigourney Weaver's Kiri is expected to have an even bigger role this time around, and Britt Dalton's Loak will also be more central to the story. On top of the returning cast, we're getting some fresh faces. Oona Chaplin is playing Varang, the leader of the Ash Clan, a group that's going to be significant in the remaining sequels. And then there's David Thewlis as Pelak, the Wind Traders' chief, bringing an entirely new dynamic to the Na'vi world. With so many familiar and new characters coming together, this sequel is going to be packed with talent. When it comes to the story, The Way of Water left a lot of loose ends, and Fire and Ash is going to pick up right where it left off. One of the biggest unresolved threads is Colonel Quaritch's fate. Thanks to Spider saving him from drowning, he's still very much in the picture. And if you thought he was dangerous before, just wait. His thirst for revenge is going to reach a whole new level. This means even more conflict between the Na'vi and the RDA, and there's a good chance the RDA will come back stronger and better prepared than ever. Jon Landau, the producer, has already confirmed that we'll be introduced to 2 new Na'vi clans in this movie. We now know that one of them is the Ash Clan, led by Varang, who seems to be more on the villainous side. The other is the Wind Traders, who are described as a more peaceful group. This will add an interesting contrast, as we'll see 2 completely different ways Na'vi live and interact with Pandora. There's also been a script excerpt from Fire and Ash that gives us a few hints about what's coming. One of the biggest takeaways is that Kiri will be learning more about her mother and Pandora itself, which could have some major implications. There's also mention of another one of Jake's sons suffering an injury, which suggests the stakes are only getting higher. Another big reveal is a new character named Varu, and the fact that Spider can now breathe Pandora's air. Since humans aren't supposed to be able to do that, it's possible Kiri's mysterious abilities have something to do with it. With all these pieces coming together, Avatar Fire and Ash is shaping up to be one of the most important films in the franchise. Between the deeper dive into Na'vi culture, the growing tensions with the RDA, and all the new characters, there's so much to look forward to. And with James Cameron constantly pushing the boundaries of visual effects, you can bet this one is going to be just as breathtaking as the previous films. Furthermore, with The Way of Water, we actually got a story worth investing in. Loak had a solid character arc, Kiri's storyline was intriguing, and the complex relationship between Spider and Quaritch was surprisingly emotional. That's why the Avatar series isn't just about its visuals anymore. If it was, the franchise probably wouldn't have survived because, let's be real, audiences need more than just pretty CGI to stay hooked. Thankfully, as we're seeing with Avatar Fire and Ash's new villains, the series now has characters and a story that are just as engaging as its visuals. Sure, some people will still go see the next one just for the jaw-dropping action sequences, but plenty of fans are also invested in seeing how Jake and Neytiri move forward after Neteyam's death. Speaking of which, one of the most exciting things about Avatar Fire and Ash is that it has so many interesting story threads to explore. Yeah, it was incredible to watch Payakan go full beast mode on that hunter ship, but what's just as interesting is seeing how Loak fits into his new role in the Metkayina clan. For the first time, the Avatar movies actually have compelling character arcs to match their top-tier visuals, and honestly, that's super important in today's blockbuster world, where audiences have so many big-budget options to choose from. The Way of Water's success wasn't just about its cutting-edge technology, it reminded everyone that James Cameron knows how to tell a great story, not just how to push filmmaking tech forward. At the end of The Way of Water, the Sully family was in a pretty tough spot. The RDA came after the Metkayina hard, meaning Jake and Neytiri couldn't just blend in and lay low anymore. But right when Loak was finally starting to feel at home with the Ocean Clan, they had to face another huge threat. His rebellious nature ended up being useful in the fight against the RDA, but now, with Fire and Ash introducing the Fire Na'vi as a major enemy, there's a whole new layer of conflict to deal with. And then there's Spider. His loyalty to both Quaritch and the Sully family is bound to cause some serious drama, especially if Neytiri finds out he saved the guy who nearly killed her husband. That's just going to make his relationship with Kiri even more complicated, and honestly, it's only a matter of time before that situation blows up. If Fire and Ash dives deeper into that, it'll just prove even more that the Avatar series has way more to offer than just incredible visuals. And if the next movie keeps up the momentum The Way of Water built, we're in for something really special. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.